is true success in life, when you become part of somebody else's testimony. I want to talk to you about taking your business and your life to the next level. Success in business and success in life is greatly dependent upon our ability to influence others in a positive way.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Ability to Influence podcast. This is your host, Steve Hopper, and today I've got a very special guest, very good friend of mine. She is an international speaker, author, and coach, the purpose coach, Clestine Herbert. Clestine, welcome.
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
Awesome.
Good.
So we've been sitting here, we've been hanging out for a little while, obviously, prior to hopping on here and recording and, just catching up, talking about life. Now, we obviously, before we go any further here, we got to let everybody know that, we got a huge event coming up.
We do.
August 18th and 19th, which is the Ignite Conference. And you're going to be one of the speakers.
With a Y.
With a Y. Ignite with a Y, right. And you're going to be one of the speakers at this Ignite Conference. Are you excited about it?
I am very excited because you know me. I love speaking is my first love, so I love speaking. So yes, definitely.
So what are you going to be talking about at that event? This is a full-blown, not to cut you off, but this is a full-blown personal development event.
It is.
I mean, we're talking personal development, business development. There are going to be people that are literally going to get their lives changed at this 2-day event.
Absolutely. So, one of the things that God's been nudging me towards is soul care. And it's beyond self-care. It's beyond, doing the massages and everything else like that. And I've been in business for about 20 years. And what I have found is that, a lot of entrepreneurs, we wear a lot of hats, especially for a solopreneur, right?
Yeah.
I mean, right? And we can get to a place of burnout, but there's something in us that once we keep pushing, we keep going when we're burnt out or we're broken, right?
Yeah.
And some people may think that it's not affecting or impacting their bottom line, but it is. Because you might be skilled in sales or you might be skilled in marketing, but if your soul is not restored, revived, repaired, if it's broken, it's going to impact how you deal with your clients. It's going to impact your bottom line, basically. I think it was Tony Robbins or one of the experts that said that success is 80% what you believe and 20% action. But most entrepreneurs, they run their business with a different formula, and that's 80% action and 20% belief.
Yeah.
And so what happens is our souls, little by little, it doesn't happen all at once, but little by little, it gets kind of broken and in disarray, right? And maybe things that you used to be able to do before you can't do, or you might find that the focus isn't there, or that you're getting a little more stressed.
Yep.
And some people might be thinking, well, we're entrepreneurs, we're solopreneurs, we've got a lot of hats. Of course, you're going to be stressed. Of course, you're not always going to be focused. But I am finding that when I manage my soul care, that I have more focus, I have more energy, I have more clarity. And I know all entrepreneurs want that. You want clarity. You want to be able to do things more efficiently. And I find that I do things more efficiently and effectively when I manage my soul better. And so one of the things that I want to talk to our audience about is soul care for your business, because it's got to be a part of your business. And everybody's different. We've all got, there's 4 basic different personalities. You teach personality types, right?
Right.
But we've got to work on that soul, and it starts with your mind. It starts with your mind. So I'll be going in that direction.
Okay. All right. So Obviously, we want everybody to come to this event, but we're going to cheat a little bit today. And for those that are watching and listening and taking the time to invest with us here, we're gonna reward them because you're gonna tell us one way because I've been going through that lately. Where I feel like I'm doing so much, and I'm doing the 80% action and the 20% belief. So I'm in need of some soul care, right?
Right.
So what is one thing that I can do, Clestine, that could help me care for my soul?
So I'm going to keep it simple.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to keep it simple. And, I find that a lot of times we're looking for something profound and something that we haven't heard before. And it's like, but you're not even doing the thing that you heard before,
Yeah.
right? You're looking for something profound. So something simple is one of the things that I do is every 2 hours or every 90 minutes to 2 hours, I will get up and I will go for a walk around the block. And it seems simple, but it makes such a big impact on my day because what it does is it helps to energize me. It gives my mind that break where it can reset itself because listen guys, our minds need to be reset,
Yeah.
right, throughout the day. And sometimes I only do like the block in front of my house. It takes 6 minutes to go around once, so I'll go around twice, right?
Yeah.
But when I come back, I feel refreshed, I feel energized, and I have the energy that I need to do things. And a lot of times when I come back, I have some fresh ideas, and it's like, okay, I need to do this, and this, and then this can get done. Or I find that I'm more focused, and we all need focus, right? Or I have more energy. And it's something that I'm starting to put into practice at least every 2 hours, especially, those days when I'm behind the computer all day. That tends to help me to just kind of reset my mind. When I don't do that, what I find is that my brain is going around and around and I'm not as focused and I don't have as much energy and I don't get as much done.
Right.
So that's a simple thing that anybody can do.
Yeah. Walk around the block. Unless you got 2 plates and 11 screws in your knee like I do, then that's gonna hurt. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well, then you can sit on the lanai and
So,
just
yeah.
give your brain that, Dr. Caroline Leaf, and you can look her up.
Yeah.
She is a neuroscientist,
Yeah.
and she says that if once a day you give your brain a 16-minute rest, that means, don't think. And what I mean by that, no, don't think is you're going to have thoughts that come to your mind, but just let them float by. Don't analyze it like I do sometimes, right? Just for 60 minutes, you will find that it re-energizes your brain and then you have more focus and more energy. And that's what we need as entrepreneurs. We need that focus. We need that place of energy, and we need to be less stressed.
What about my hammock out in the front yard?
I love that idea.
Yeah, could that be cool? Like I could do that instead of walking around the block.
You could do that.
Because we're in Florida, the humidity, it's hot as heck down here. You take a walk around the block and you're gonna have to, shower, and then you're gonna have to, So maybe I'll do the hammock. Maybe
you can do the hammock.
Maybe that'll be my thing. I was talking at a networking event the other day, and one of the things I was talking about was that your business development is going to be a direct reflection of your personal development. And I asked the group, what are you reading right now? And they all looked at me like a deer in headlights, because obviously what you import is what you're going to export. And if you want to grow your business and you've got to be putting positive stuff in. So how important do you think that reading is?
Oh, it's very important. Yeah. It's like what you put in.
What are you reading right now?
Me, I am reading The Greatest Secret. I read it every year. And it's by Pastor Ron McIntosh.
Okay.
And you know me, anything about mindset and the brain, I'm going to gravitate to it. And that book basically teaches you how to speak to yourself, how to reprogram your mind to be successful. And that's all a part of soul care.
Yeah.
Right. So you're right. What you're reading is really important. So Greatest Secret is one of the books that I'm reading right now. I read it every year because the book is so good and it's so full and rich.
Yeah.
I can't absorb it all.
Oh
So
man.
I read it every year.
Well, you suggested a book to me recently, God, Where Are You? And I'm
Hmm.
reading that one, which I love.
I read
And
that one too this
so
year.
so I'll
Hmm.
have to read the one that you're reading afterwards.
Definitely. You'll like it.
Because I'm almost done with this one. But what about writing books? Are you writing anything right now? How many books have you written so far? Tell everybody.
Two. I've written
Two.
two solely, and then I
What are
had
they called?
um, Nuggets of Knowledge to Get Unstuck and The Art of Convincing Yourself.
And those both can be gotten on Amazon, right? Okay,
Absolutely.
go to Amazon, get those books. Um, so, are you writing anything right now, though?
So I wrote
What's the next book,
so the next book is called Sold.
right?
Sold. And SOULED. SOULED.
Nice.
And it's about the 5 beliefs that you need to be successful in sales and marketing. Right?
Very
There's
cool.
5 basic beliefs that you need to embrace and introduce into your business in order to do well in sales. And so that's what Sold is about,
All right.
basically.
So, how long do we have to wait for that one? What's our release date? You see what I'm
I
doing here,
know.
right?
I see what you're
I'm
doing.
putting you in the box. I'm holding you accountable. It's going to be public. It's out there on the
It is,
internet now.
yeah. Well, you know what? That's good for me. All
Yeah.
right. So, by the end of the year, I'm
Okay.
actually reviewing it. The first draft is written.
Yeah.
Um, and I actually picked it up yesterday, and I'm revising. I'm
Yeah.
revising it.
Well, I'm almost done
Mm-hmm.
with my next book, The $100,000 Handshake. You know, I've been playing around with this book for years.
Good job, Steve.
No, seriously, like I've been playing around with this thing for years. And I've been helping everybody else write their books,
Right,
and get their
right,
books done.
right.
So I kind of put mine on the back burner, and
Uh-huh.
it was a couple of months ago. I was like, I gotta get this book done. Like I gotta stop playing. I did the same thing with From Prison to Purpose.
Right,
I played with that book for literally a year. Like I'd
right.
write a little bit, I'd go away for a couple
Mm-hmm.
months. I wouldn't mess with it anymore. Excuse me. And then when I finally, like literally one day, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write this book. I got to get this book done.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like I just got focused, and I wrote it in less than 2 weeks. I wrote the entire book.
And
You
look
know.
at you now with that book. That's a really good, y'all. If you haven't read that book, it's a good book.
Well,
It's a
thank you.
very good book.
Yeah, it's been. It's funny because I was never going to be a. I wasn't going to write a book.
All right.
That's not what I wanted to do. I didn't think I was going to write a book. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to write. I was one of those people that thought, in order to be a published author, you had to go lock yourself in a cabin in, Tennessee for 6 months and not speak to anybody,
Right.
to write a book.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really not the case, right?
Right.
It's not that hard. It just takes a little bit of focus and a little bit of dedication and
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of accountability, right? Like
Absolutely.
me calling you out on when this book's going to be published, right? I see accountability.
You know what? You know what book I would love for you to release is that book that you were going to write about the heart with your mother.
The Incarcerated Heart.
You
Oh,
got to write that
Clestine,
book.
don't say that. My mom's been driving. If she listens to this, she's going to be like, see, I told you.
You'll be on the phone.
Because she has been. She's been like, you're right. I've got to do that. I got to do that with her. So for all of y'all that are listening, basically what Clestine's talking about is a few years ago, came up with an idea
Mm-hmm.
that me and my mom were going to write a book together because when Prison to Purpose, came out,
Mm-hmm.
I was receiving a lot of emails and phone calls and stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
from moms
Mm.
of young men that were incarcerated.
Mm.
And, they were just heartbroken. And I didn't even realize, honestly, until I started getting all of these calls and having all of these conversations with all these mothers. And I found myself encouraging them
Mm-hmm.
because they were just, their sons were in prison, but so were they.
Right.
Their hearts were in prison
Mm-hmm.
with their sons. And so, it sparked me to go to my mom and say, Mom, like, what was it like, for me? Because I never asked her.
Right.
I never asked her,
Right.
what was it like for you when I was in prison? And she began to tell me. And I was like, do you want to write a book with me? And her eyes lit up and she was like, oh, yeah. And, and then life happened
Mm-hmm.
and we got away from it. But she is not letting me forget about it.
I'm sure she's
And
not.
now that you just brought it up, I think you just spoke it back into existence
That's
again.
right.
And so we're going to have to get that done. But anyways, so go for a walk.
Go for a walk. I know it sounds silly to some people, but I'm telling you it works.
Well,
Even like 3 minutes.
yeah.
You need that because listen, so we were not designed by the Almighty God to be around so much electronics.
Right.
And now in this day and age, it's every, TV, phone, computer, with microwave, we were just surrounded by it.
Yeah.
So our soul, our minds need a break,
We need a
right?
break.
We need that break. So doing something simple, right?
Yeah.
For just even 2 or 3 minutes, it really does make a big difference. Some of us are on all the time and we don't know how to pause or
Right.
turn off, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, we're
walking,
sitting here on the
reading.
podcast. My phone's ringing.
Oh
We're surrounded. We're surrounded. So, so the event in August is going to be a big deal.
It is.
We've got other speakers that are coming as well. My
Right.
co-host for this particular event is Robin Thrasher.
Mm-hmm.
She's been coaching people for 20 plus years,
Right.
about to finish her book.
Nice.
We've got Cedric Harris, who,
Yes.
have you heard Cedric speak before?
I have not. I was in Boston when you did the last one with him.
Yeah. This guy he's unbelievable. Like you
Mm-hmm.
see this guy on stage. He's spoken on some of the biggest stages out there.
Mm-hmm.
He's been interviewed by Grant Cardone.
Nice.
He's no joke. This guy is the real deal,
Right.
and he's crazy amazing from the front of the room. Like he will wow you when he gets up and speaks.
Nice.
And his story is very powerful as well. Super successful guy. So we've got Cedric, we've got you, we've got me, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
Robin Thrasher, Dr. Nicole Stewart is going to be speaking. She's a chiropractor here in Tampa. She's
Nice.
got an amazing story. She's an entrepreneur, very successful, and she went through my Speak Like a Boss boot camp
Okay.
and won the competition. And so she's now an award-winning speaker,
Right.
right?
Right.
And she's going to be gracing the stage,
Right.
and I think she's going to be talking a little bit about mindset as well.
Good.
But it's huge. Mindset is such a big thing,
Big.
especially like right now, because the last several years have just been nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Things are people's attitudes right now, their mindset towards everything that's going on.
And mental health is on the map now.
Oh, it is,
It
and
is.
it needs to be because
Yes.
it's an issue.
It is an issue.
It's an issue. So everybody needs to come August 18th and 19th. Go to igniteconference.com and get registered for that.
With a Y. I have to keep saying that.
Yeah, ignite with a Y. But it's going to be a good event. So, Clestine, obviously, this is the Ability to Influence podcast.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is one of the key traits that someone needs to have
Mm-hmm.
if they want to master the ability to influence others?
That's a good question. And the first word that came to my mind is humility. It's not something that we talk about a lot, but I feel that for me, in order to truly influence somebody,
Right.
I have to be humble and understand that what God gave to me, He can take away from me at any time, and that I'm not better than anyone. That everybody on this earth has a gift, and we all are called to greatness. It's just that you have to be willing to pay that price, right? You were willing to pay the price, right? I'm
Yeah.
willing to pay the price, and but yeah, I think humility is one of the many things that I think can help you and to help I to be great influences. And we all know the other things out there as far as, being visible, right?
Right.
And being strong in your gifts. Those are things that people always talk about.
Right.
but I think humility makes a big it makes a big impact because it draws people.
Yeah.
And humility is not that you're shy and you don't want to do anything and you don't
Right.
want to be visible, but it means that you're serving, being
Yeah.
a servant leader, and you want to put others before yourself,
Yeah.
right?
That's so powerful. Another thing I think about too is on the personal development side of
Mm-hmm.
things, is giving yourself a break. Like what
That's
I mean by
great.
that is not taking a walk, not taking a break and walking around the block, because we're gonna do that. But it's literally giving yourself a break, because nobody puts more pressure on us
Mm-hmm.
than us.
Right.
Nobody critiques us as hard as we do.
So explain to the audience, give them an example of how giving yourself a break could help you to be a great influencer to their audience.
Well, I think that it goes right hand in hand with humility. I think um, it's accepting that you're not going to be perfect at every single thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a project that you've been working on, and you maybe have set a goal for yourself, or a deadline, if you would.
Mm-hmm.
And life happens, sometimes things come up and you don't hit that goal, or you don't get it done. Instead of beating yourself up about that to the point where you digress in your
Mm-hmm.
production, you start to look at yourself in a negative way. You start to
Mm-hmm.
feel negatively about yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because that's going to carry over as well.
It is going to carry
So
over.
it's saying, it's giving yourself a break in the sense that, you know what, listen, I'm going to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you get refocused on it, and you
Mm-hmm.
just, you don't put that much pressure on yourself all the time, or
Mm-hmm.
beat yourself up when you don't get to that certain place in the time that you're supposed to get there. Right.
And I think our clients love when we have our human moments.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
my clients love it. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think
Right.
that's what you're talking about, when
Right.
it comes to, humility is, yeah, there's the serving part of it, but a lot of times the way you can serve people most is just by being authentic and saying, hey, look, here we are, we're influencers, we're experts, we're coaches, we're speakers, we're supposed to go out there every single day
Mm-hmm.
and obviously encourage people to play at a really high level and all of that
Mm-hmm.
good stuff. And I think that when we can go out there and say, hey, look, y'all, like, here's some of my failures, here's some of the mistakes I've made.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were just talking about it earlier, like
Right.
I've been putting off this book forever.
Right.
I got to get this thing
Me
done,
too. Yeah.
and that's a form of humility
Mm-hmm.
that says, hey, but I'm going to get it done. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not beating myself up over it.
Right.
I'm
And I
giving myself
think
a
for
break.
me, really managing the soul care allows me to be full on and fully present to energize and to impact the audience.
Yeah.
So for me, it goes back to the
Very
soul
cool.
care. Mm-hmm.
Well, this has been powerful. Like, if they get this, if they really like, then there's some nuggets in this one.
Yeah, and if you
So
don't get it, go to igniteconference.com
Yeah.
and sign up so that you can get the rest.
Oh yeah, listen, 2 days, life changing.
Mhm.
We're doing the early bird on that right now, which is
Yeah.
$97. Only
Mhm.
$97 for both days at this conference here in Tampa, Florida. 5 amazing speakers,
Mhm.
coaches, people that are going to just pour into the audience and
Right.
take them to the next level. So thank you
Absolutely.
for being here with me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So you like the house?
Appreciate it. I love, oh my goodness, y'all, this house is amazing. This house is like a retreat. It's like an oasis. I love it.
We're gonna do some retreats here. We're gonna do some retreats here.
Good.
So, anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Ability to Influence. This is Steve Hopper signing off with Clestine, the Purpose Coach.
Bye, y'all.
God bless. We'll see y'all on the next episode.
Bye. Thanks, Steve.
That is true success in life, when you become part of somebody else's testimony. I want to talk to you about taking your business and your life to the next level. Success in business and success in life is greatly dependent upon our ability to influence others in a positive way.